Hi guys, welcome back to Nature Preserve Life. We've got a little situation we're trying to plan for and take better care of the property out here, especially in the wake of the Los Angeles fires and Pacific Palisades and Altadena and stuff. Kind of has, really raised our awareness about the potential fire damage or danger that can be found here in the Southwest. So here shortly, probably in the morning. It's getting a little later in the afternoon, kind of dark around here too. As you can see, kind of behind me, we got some dark clouds coming in. Anyway, I'm going to be taking the chainsaw and take out some of these trees and haul them out of here that are pretty close to the house, especially from the prevailing winds direction. Got to make sure we can do everything we can to protect the property. One of the very sad things we found out that's really kind of, again, alerted us to the real danger that we're potentially in is that in our state and probably other states too, the insurance companies, state insurance commissioner, their regulations allow for the insurance companies to drop you with only a 10-day written notice in the U.S. mail. So you might not even get to your mail before discovering that your 10 days has already expired and your homeowner's policy's been dropped because of any kind of analysis that your insurance company might do to say that they've identified a higher risk for your home's in. And of course, like the folks in Los Angeles, they got dropped and didn't even have time to try to find a new insurance company before the fires came through and decimated their properties. So I'm going to do what I can on my end to mitigate those risks and start taking out some of these trees in the morning. Like this one behind me. And I love these trees. I just hate the thought of taking them out, but they're so very close to the house here. Let me just show you. So pan around. Like house here, stairs coming from the kitchen and dining room, and we got these trees along the back here. And the wind, of course, comes from this direction and blows this way, right towards the house. So if these guys ever caught fire, they're probably maybe 20 feet from the house, 15 feet, some of them. Anyway, I'm going to try to build a better fire protection around the perimeter of the house, at least from the direction of the prevailing wind. So I'll see you in the morning, chainsaw in hand. Okay, guys, it's been a rough little day here working with these two chainsaws I have down here. I had 3 stumps when I was here last that I cut down. 2, I was able to, well, one of them in particular, the small one, I was able to dig up and just cut it with clippers, the root system, and pull it out. The medium-sized one, I ended up taking the chainsaw to, and I worked with the electric one at first, still very weak. I took one of my sharpeners, sharpened it real good, still hardly makes a dent in that wet, dense wood down there. But the gas-powered one here, this baby rocks, especially after I give it a little sharpening here. And I'll show you how we sharpen them, by the way. But, so you can see here, the blades alternate which direction they're facing. Like, this one faces this way, and that's where you give it a little sharpening. The next one, maybe I was doing it backwards. Goes the other way. And just give it a little stroke there. Yeah, a certain little dog wants to know what I'm doing here. Hey boy, you want to help me out? Anyway, you just give him a little sharpening. And normally I would hold the thing a little steadier here so you can give it a filing here. It's just a fancy file, really, that is more focused on getting in to the teeth on the chain here. And of course, you just move the sucker along as you're sharpening each one and go on down. That's really all there is to it. This is our little shed down here. I think the dimensions are like 12 by 16 approximately. Anyway, one of the things we'd love to do with this is tear it down, pour a slab, maybe do some either cinder block up halfway or a couple feet anyway for a stem wall. We might do earthen construction and do adobe / rammed earth instead for the stem wall. But anyway, that's to be determined. What we want to do though is basically replace this structure or even use some of the framing and siding from it if we can. Turn it into an observatory with a sliding roof. It may slide this way, it may slide the other way. But that's what we're thinking about it with, of course, a little sidewalk or path coming up here to the hot tub and back deck of the house. And anyway, that's one project. The other project we're thinking of is all around the house we have these great little downspouts, and we collect a lot of rainwater when the monsoons hit. And currently, near the shed there, we have on the left where the rainwater goes, and it's pretty dirty right now. And then on the right is another tank. I think they're both like 1,200 or 1,500, maybe 1,000 gallons. But the right has been an emergency backup one that is plumbed into our little culvert and pump system here, where the current well water goes to this little guy here, which is again another 1,000+ gallon tank in there. So what we're thinking of doing here is, since the rainwater goes into this tank, we'd love to like dig this up and put in a much bigger tank in here, and maybe even eliminate the backup tank here and use the plumbing that goes up to the with a cut. It's got a cut over in there too, so we could use this as a backup. And the plumbing's already there, so if we dig up both these tanks, pull them out of there and put a much bigger tank underground, we're thinking maybe a 10,000 gallon or 2 to 4 of the 5,000 gallon tanks. Just dig a big pit here, bury them, and then tie it into this rainwater system. And of course, put a little filter system here. We have electrical right there, so we could probably run a little pump to pressurize it through the filter system that we'd have in a little culvert too, going down prior to entering the tank there, a future new big tank. So we'd have relatively clean water that we could tie into the plumbing that's already here for this backup tank. So that's something we're thinking about too, so we could have a massive reservoir of backup water for this house. And the final project we're thinking of is right in this area and going through maybe here. We're thinking of clearing some of this, excavating, and maybe putting like a 36-foot wide and 48-foot deep shop in here. And we do have like a ravine probably 80 to 100 feet back, so we'd have to make sure we build it pretty close to the driveway here. But we'd sure like to consider having that kind of storage and functionality close to the house here, with not really too many other places to put it. There's so many ravines with water flow through them during the monsoon season that if we tried to put it somewhere else, I think we'd have to do a lot of rerouting of the water flow and stuff like that. But right here, it's pretty stable in this area and pretty dry. We do have a little bit of water runoff coming through here. You can kind of see a little trenched kind of area from the water flow, and we do have the monsoons. But what I could do is just put in a little catch basin area here with a culvert system we bury going down here to then bring it away from the house down here. Okay, that's it for morning's hard work. Got the most concerning trees out of the way. So wind blows from pretty much this direction behind me most of the time. And anyway, the old Husqvarna still does a good job. Proud of it. And of course, this is the mess that's yet to be cleaned up. The down trees. Hated taking them out. They sure look nice in this little corner of the house, but this is where the wind's at. Blows from this direction towards the house. This, is the greatest threat when it comes to fire safety out here. So we're finally getting those things done that have always concerned me. And after seeing the Los Angeles fires and watching quite a few hours of that on TV, and then hearing about the insurance nightmares and dropped insurance and all that, it's like I don't want to be in the same boat. At least if the insurance is dropped right before a fire or something, I want to know we got a fighting chance here. I want to say cheers, but with the thought of the Los Angeles fires in my mind, it's kind of hard for all those poor folks out there. And of course my old childhood stomping grounds out near Altadena, Pasadena, that beautiful area. Anyway, gotta leave, gotta get back to the city. We'll clean this one up on our next trip out to the country. Cheers.